a few, right? We all made just a few in the last year.
Right, exactly. No, very true.
Look at all of us on early. All women. Is it all women? Do we have any guys here?
We will. Just
Hi, Sari.
Oh, we have one.
It's
Hi,
Becca.
Sari.
Hey,
Becca.
hey, Carrie. Carrie Hess. I made
hear
you
me?
I made you a host.
Okay, great.
Will you help me? Carrie, by the way, who's like in my corner. Just
No.
I'll introduce her in a minute.
God.
I know. She's like, oh God. She's my virtual assistant, people. I know
I love it.
There's like one person behind me.
Oh, does it?
I'm the sanity
Not you, but for her.
Can you
For the dad,
see the people coming on, Carrie?
It
To
was
let
pretty
them all
nice.
in?
Doesn't sound bad. It just sounds like it sounds. I mean, I never thought of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what. She
Here.
went to dental office when it's kind of first.
Yeah. Can you see them to let them in? For me?
She's got herself hooked up with a dental internship in Boston.
No.
This one's made a nice comeback since the drill and bill days of when my dad was.
You can get in my Zoom, right?
Athletics
so, yeah.
and making little clowns in your office, and a lot of people are doing.
Hi,
Zoom
John.
appointments.
Hey, Sari, how are you?
I know
Hi,
orthodontics.
Dan.
You can do like a whole thing and send very little out. It can be lucrative, nice little specialty. Especially for Gail, not to be sexist, if I want to have a couple of kids
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, God forbid you should.
I'm just saying.
So
That's cool.
yeah, check it out. I mean,
Hi, everyone. We're just letting you all in.
For oral maxillofacial residency and faceless.
Hello.
Hello.
Most of the best facial plastic guys are
Jared,
Hi.
Yeah, they're not just like.
I think there's a
Everybody.
lot of background in your, I think from yours maybe. Someone else on?
Speaking of people who shouldn't be doing glasses, you're getting.
Looks like it's Steve.
Oh, yeah. The worst.
Who is it?
It looks like it's Steve.
Oh, Steve.
There it is.
Oh,
Perfect.
I'll yell at you then, Steve.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Hey.
Hi. I know you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Everybody's coming on.
Hi. I ran home. I just got home 2 seconds ago.
So Carrie, wait, are you able to let them in or no?
No. Did you mark me as a host or a co-host?
Yeah,
Hi, Christina.
I thought I did.
Hey, Shannon, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Can you go in or no?
I don't think because I'm logged in as me.
Oh, so you're logged in as Lily Herman. Okay, well, that's not
Hi,
good.
Miss Tina.
Hi.
Can I do it? Carrie, can I do it now?
Yeah, you should be able to. If you click on my name and click the more, it should give you the option to.
Our names or the sponsorships?
I don't know. Just our names.
Okay.
Host attendee. Hold on.
Can type into the names.
I don't know why it's not letting me join.
I can't do this. Can you do this? I dare.
Why don't you take it off this?
I can't see. You look worse than I do.
Oh, stop.
Stop, I can't see because I'm laughing. Did I
Put my
spell
name
it?
up. Hey, Jerry Man.
Just.
LAE.
Okay.
Okay, now hit
How was
okay.
it, Sari? I'm good now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Okay, sorry. You know, one thing about me is I'm trying to be as technically unchallenged as possible and actually going to cry with all of you coming on.
Oh.
We'll start in a few minutes, but Carrie, scream and shout for a minute.
Hey, everybody.
So Carrie is, some of you know her and some of you don't, but Carrie's my virtual assistant. And thank God for Carrie, because she definitely makes me look good on a lot of days with a lot of things and keeps me organized on quite a few things. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes. I'm pretty sure, well, we're missing one of our speakers. I don't think I see him yet. Let me just check with him. How's everyone?
I love my yes. Thank you.
Good.
Love this phone sanitizer thing. Thank you for being more neurotic, making me more neurotic.
I love my cup and my new straw.
Yes.
Who are you all kidding? You all love the tequila.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get mine. You'll have to send another bottle.
Exactly.
There's Rob. What? Rob needed 3 text messages.
Oh,
So people are coming on, and I totally.
Wow, it's a big group.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful people.
Hey, Rob, what shirt are you wearing?
Oh,
So,
great shirt.
I'm only getting undressed because.
Oh,
Because Rob's here. Yeah.
that shirt.
Don, you're just always jealous.
I am. I've been jealous of him for 35 years.
Well, Barry's supposed to join us, so
Oh, even better.
I do with me.
So what I think as people come on, probably the best thing to do for right now is maybe to mute yourselves. And then we won't get background noise. But, for sure along the way, if people have questions or want to talk or say anything, definitely unmute yourself, say anything. It's supposed to be fun and a chance for all of us to be together and get to know one another. I'm for sure overwhelmed right now that everybody is able to take the time and be here, and just really want to thank all of you. I've never really done anything like this before in my business, bringing all my clients together, which, to be honest, most of you are current clients. And so seeing you all here together makes me realize why I actually don't sleep. But I have a lot of past clients here. And when I say past clients, it's just simply because, maybe you don't need me right now, and how that's just great with me, because that means you're doing great. And when you need me, you'll need me. And even potential clients. And so that makes me really, really excited. I hope everyone got their marketing bag swag today. If you didn't, just let me know. I will make sure you get one. That being said, I for sure want to thank a couple of people before we even really get started. First, I definitely want to thank Star Treks for helping me out today. It's been a really rough year for event planners, event business, and Star Treks in our community and globally is unbelievable. And they help deliver all those bags to everyone today. I know Becca's here somewhere, but Becca and Jeff with Star Treks, they're amazing. I've been able over the years to work with them, work for them, and they're just an amazing community partner. So I can't thank them enough. As far as the marketing bag goes, when I decided to put this event together, I really wanted to just bring together and talk, but sort of bring a piece of me to you. And there's certain things I always talk about individually with all of you. And so I figured if we're going to do an event, it's got to be fun. And I always like a party. And usually when I plan a party, there's lots of food. makes it a little challenging during COVID times. So Cinco de Mayo seemed like a good time to bring everyone together, have a little chips and salsa, a few nuts, and of course, tequila. So, and you know, if all goes well today, we may want to have tequila at all our meetings. In addition to that, usually when I meet with a client for the first time, we always talk about what's your story, what makes you unique. And most importantly, I always talk about, and I stole it from one of our speakers today, and it's you do you. And I just have always said to all of you, when you work with me, you get me. This is who I am. If I'm your friend, if I'm your publicist, I am who I am. I'm going to say it like I mean it. And one of the best ways to always get your story out is to do you. And if you're not doing you, then nobody will buy it. And we're going to talk about Rob Smith in a minute and the Fluid Project. But I was walking through his store when he had a store one day, and I saw this shirt, and I wanted to really actually buy all of them. I since could sell all of them, and I wear the shirt. If I post it online, I get lots of response about it, and I think it's really true that if we all really stay true to ourselves, then we're telling the best story possible. And so in putting together the bag, I went to my client, my friend of over 30 years, Valerie Heyman Sklar. Raise your hand down there. She's in my bottom corner. And I said, what can I give all my clients? What can I convey to everyone? And so we put together the bag. Valerie is exceptional in helping businesses really put together corporate marketing solutions. It's not just about the pen, it's about what's on the pen. It's about the best pen. It's about how to write with it. It's about everything that is you. And so I adore her. She knows that. She recently was written up in Forbes magazine regarding virtual events. You'll see that on my social media in the coming month. And, for the most part, I can't get through life without Valerie. She's great to brainstorm. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A couple things in the bag besides if you went through, and that was this book I put together, or the book of cards. And I hope that you'll take an opportunity to look through it. It's a lot of stuff that we talk about often, social media, hashtags, why we need them, why I yell at you all when I don't see them, why they're important, different social media platforms, about branding, about your mission statement, and good reminders along the way that I'm often talking about. And it was the first time I sort of sat down and put all those ideas together. So I hope that you'll take a look through the cards and use them. And when we're working together, if you ever hear me say, okay, I think we're getting off brand, or, what's the journey? What's the story? These cards are what I'm talking about. It's how we get back to your story. The other important piece in there is I put in 2 business cards. And the reason I did that is I'm always growing my business. And if you're happy, I hope that you'll give out my card. And, want to share, me with anyone that you feel needs PR. And one of our speakers here today, I think, thinks she's my publicist. So thank you, Linda, for all the referrals always. So I want to be mindful of everyone's time today. And what's going to happen is I have a few speakers for you that I think are important to talk about and to have you listen to. And we're going to get to those. But my last thank you before we do that is to all of you guys. This has been probably the most challenging year all of you have had in business. I know that on March 13th, I woke up in the morning, probably around 5:30, and I started sending emails out to all my clients, some that I hadn't spoken to in a long time, and said, I'm here for you. What do you need? What are we going to do? How are we going to pivot? How are we going to change your business? And all of you did just that. There's not a day that I haven't noticed that something had to change in your business. You had to create websites that didn't exist before. Some of you opened businesses in the middle of the pandemic. Some of you had to shut down businesses and reopen it in completely different ways. But what's amazing about this group, and if you're in the gallery mode right now, and I encourage you to be in the gallery mode right now for this particular moment, look around, because every single person on this screen has participated in over 250 media segments, over 60 print segments, nationwide, something like 30 national spots, rebuilding websites, creating new products. And I have to tell you, that's not within the last year, that's within the last 6 months. And to be able to do that as businesses, small, medium-sized businesses, is incredible. And you guys have done the work. You have figured out how to do the work, and it's been really my pleasure to tell your story and to keep telling your story. So thank you for that. Big round of applause for that. So I want to get to my first speaker. Where'd he go? I know he's on here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, right there. You moved on me. So this first speaker I have for you guys today, I have a lot of favorite stories, but Rob Smith's story is one of my favorites. I think we met about 1984. It's hard to know a time when I didn't know Rob, but I'd say about 1984. A recent headline stated how a former frat boy and a high-flying retail exec, he's just laughing at me, finally found his calling by opening America's first gender fluid clothing store. And I have to say, I met Rob at MSU back, I think, in 1984. At that time, Rob was in a fraternity. He was dating women. He even stood on stage and was honored as Greek Man of the Year. Okay, so true confession, because I don't want him to say it. That same evening, I was in the Greek Women runner-up, something I never talk about. So there, now y'all have a secret. It wasn't until he really moved to Miami. He was working for Burdines, which is, if you're familiar, it was part of the Macy's umbrella. And he was living in Miami that he started coming out to family and friends. And he was rising up into the whole Macy's and fashion industry. I'm going to speed up this timeline, but Rob was able to, at that point, start living an authentic life in the fashion and retail world. He later married his husband, Rod, in 2008. Then in 2016, he went to Burning Man. And while on the journey, he booked a retreat to the Peruvian jungle. Okay, so just so you know, That retreat lasted a little longer than all of us expected. Oh, a year or 2 years. I'm not sure. He was gone a long time. Not sure he was coming back. But upon returning home, he wrote in his travel journal, consider opening a non-binary gender-free shopping space. And in quote marks, he wrote down fluid, PHLUID, because everything in life is fluid. And in the space, he wrote gender, PH, because of balance. Rob came home and he did it. He opened a space in New York, 3,000 square foot space in New York, and in an online store. The space was unique. It included a place to have speaking engagements and community events. And Rob created a movement. And he continues to do that today with Get Fluid. Get Fluid is a comprehensive diversity and inclusion training program curated to provide skills to spearhead inclusion and initiatives for the LGBTQIA community. I asked Rob to speak to all of us today because I firmly believe that for all of us to grow our businesses, being able to speak and understand gender fluidity is how we're going to have to grow into our next stages in life. So to learn even more about the Fluid Project and Rob, you can find all you need to at thefluidproject.com. Welcome, my friend, many of my secret keepers, Rob Smith. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. I have nothing left to say. You did it all. True to form, you did it all. First of all, this, if you haven't flipped through it, is incredible. Like, I know that I've got work to do. Valerie, the pens are amazing. I don't have one around me right now. I left it at the other house, but the pens are incredible. Yeah, and I ate the chips before I even knew what the bag was from, that it was from you. I started eating the chips right away. So thanks for having me speak first. I'm gonna speak. During the rest, I've got another phone call to take. I'll be dual listening and working at the same time. All good stuff. So Sari, of course, you did a great job talking about the business. I guess the lesson I learned is so far, I don't know if I'm successful, you never know until, I guess, how you define success, first of all, making money or personal satisfaction. If success is personal satisfaction, I'm a millionaire. If success is how much money you have in the bank, I'll tell you in 10 years whether I made the right decision or not. But I think as entrepreneurs, doing something that you love and you believe in, it's just, you can work 7 days a week and all day long and never feel, I guess, always feel like you're never finished, but always feel so satisfied with what you're doing and why you're doing it. I've had the fortune, as Sari said, to merge my profession, which is retail, and my passion, which is social justice, specifically around LGBTQ youth. Being a gay man myself and really understanding this new generation, that they're much more fluid in their identity, their sexual orientation, their expression. And so, started to open this store, learned a lot, closed the store, which was really hard because it was the happiest place in the world. And moved on to, like all of us, pivoted during COVID to stay alive. And I wasn't sure I was going to make it or not. I switched to wholesale. I'll be happy to say I'm in over 5,000 stores right now across the country, within Target and Nordstrom and Hot Topic and Zumiez and Sephora. Launched a fragrance at Sephora. And I'm moving into the sustainable space and launching a gender-free, upcycled, ethically made collection at Nordstrom and apparel and accessories, and then working on that as a global distribution too. And then the Fluid, the training program. So like literally out of need, understood that corporations weren't ready for this and created gender expansive training. So I'm teaching corporations how to prepare for a gender expansive workforce. So less about who you go to bed with, but more about who you go to bed as, and understanding how to create space for this new generation of young people who identify in the space between, which is what Fluid is about. I'm happy to say, like, I'm working on a whole certification process for Uber right now. So as they break off, I've got a deliverable at 5 o'clock for them, and American Express, and lots of other things. And all of this was born out of COVID, out of social justice movement. And who the hell knows where I'll be in a year. I'm pretty excited about the progress I'm making, but it's really nice to be around entrepreneurs, like-minded people who are pouring their heart and soul into their business, into something they believe in, and all of the challenges and rewards that come along with it. And I'm happy to, Sari, have you by my side, being and not just promoting me externally, but also internally. When I doubt myself, you're pushing me, as I'm sure you are, everyone else on the screen, to go farther, to do harder. When self-doubt settles in, you're there to like pump us up. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of certainly myself, but I'm sure everyone else, for doing what you do and making all of us feel like we're the star of the show. So thank you. Thanks.
Well, you're welcome. I will say that Rob was just a nominee for fragrance, most popular fragrance of the year. And we just got to take down those damn Kardashians.
Yeah, it's humanity, it's called. So it's like a shake it up, and it's gender free, and it moisturizes at the same time.
It's really amazing, but
incredible. Yeah. Each of the fragrances are named after our values. There's intention, integrity, humanity, balance, and transcend is the last one. And it's the idea that you could start a day with a positive value and a positive feeling was so much aligned with the brand.
Does anyone have any questions for Rob? I think I know he has a couple more minutes, but and just maybe how to take gender, proper pronouns, anything that you may be struggling with, and don't be afraid to ask, because one of the things like that's the best about Rob, and I will call him and I will say, how do you ask this? How do you say this? What's, no, there's no judgment. Like that's, to learn.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's Linda from
Hi.
Skinny Teas.
So Rob, I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Like, oh my God, you go. Oh my God. That's what I have to say.
Someone asked me today, like, what do you want? I'm like, world domination. Like, I can't think of anything else I'd rather have than the brand Fluid stand for values and inclusion and representation. And I'm working on a state law in California that I think will be powerful. I'm working on creating a space in Target that'd be powerful. I'm just ready to conquer the world, to create space in between for those. There'll always be a blue boy section and a pink girl section, always. Mm-hmm. But if I can create the space between, and ultimately, just so everyone knows, the secret is that ultimate goal is that gender stereotypes hurt everybody. When you're born and you're born a girl and you're told this is the way you can act, this is what you can do or not do, that hurts. When you're born a boy and you're told this is the way you can act, this is what you can believe in, this is the way you can feel, that hurts too. So ultimately, my goal is to benefit everybody, to allow us to be who we are without society or anybody else telling us what we can and can't do. That's the ultimate goal.
I have a statement. I just want to say bravo to you for being such a positive person and putting a positive, non-judgmental spin on your mission, not only from your perspective, from the people on the outside, how you just make your mission is to make everybody feel good and educated and understand. And bravo for you for doing that. I mean, I think that's amazing. You do such a beautiful job with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We need more positive people that encourage people to do good things and less judging. So bravo to you.
Thanks, Gina. Actually, to that point, like it's the mission statement for Fluid is to challenge boundaries with humanity. So whatever we challenge, we always do it with humanity, with kindness, with love, and as opposed to being preachy and judgy. that we can challenge dated constructs and challenge, you know, boundaries, but do it with humanity and love and kindness. And it will resonate with everyone, hopefully.
Yes, we all need more of that.
Thank you. I think you're right.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to give 2 cents and say, like, keep going, keep rocking, like, keep making a difference, because I mean, 5,000 stores. Wow. Like, I'm in almost 100 and I'm like, 5,000? Do you sleep? You know? Like, keep jamming it. Like, you're really impressive. Congratulations.
He doesn't sleep.
And they're full price stores too. They're not off price yet.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that'll maybe happen one day. Well, congratulations to you too, Ashley.
Oh, thank you. I'll be calling you. I need to learn some things.
Happy to share whatever I know.
So one of the reasons I actually do love when Rob tells his story, or I get to tell his story, is just watching the journey of when someone wasn't living the most authentic life at one point, and really to see him just really live the life he's supposed to be living and doing what he's supposed to be doing, but sharing it. It just, when Google Alert hits and it says the Fluid Project, it just makes my day.
I do have one more thing. Sorry. I do have one more thing. Just to ask, Rob, what can we do for you to help you further your mission? I'm all about helping others. Of course, we always all need help as entrepreneurs, but what is one thing you'd like us to take away or help you promote, or one thing?
That is the greatest question. And I also try to ask that every time I meet somebody who owns a business or runs a business. So I think just like everyone else, follow the brand. If it's disinteresting, just mute us, but I think, it matters when I'm collaborating with the big brand. They look at how many followers we have, and it matters, so a follow, a comment helps. A comment on as everyone knows, in any social media platform moves the algorithm higher. So the more comments, the higher the algorithm goes up, the more people see it. So, that's why I respond so quickly. I posted about education today and spent like an hour just responding to people, because the more responses, the more the algorithm goes, the higher visibility. It just gives more people visibility to it. So it's a game. So if you follow me on LinkedIn or on Instagram or the brand, I don't do the brand that much, but sometimes, a comment helps. And then just if you find somebody who might be interested in the brand, hasn't heard about it, share it with them. And it's certainly queer centric. It is for everybody. Look at Sari and I are wearing the same cut shirt. We both look great in it, and it's the same fit. And it's just a piece.
Rob always looks better. Who are we kidding?
No, you look amazing. I think, yeah, that's a great question. Just share for people who might be interested, who might find a home in it. And yeah, that helps.
Okay.
Thank you. And if you see something you like online that you think you might like to buy
buy it.
Sales always help. Spend money. It's nice.
It's always good. There's masks. There's great masks with messages, and
literally, my dad, who is 77, Republican from Grosse Pointe, wears Fluid all the time. So there's something for everybody.
I love that. We got your mom though. Thank you, Rob. I know you gotta do 12
I'm
other things.
I'm gonna put myself on mute in my face, but I'm gonna be listening in while I do this other thing. I'll come back.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So moving on, she was living the life of her dreams until it all fell apart. She found out her adult son was a heroin addict. She was going through a divorce and couldn't pay her bills. She borrowed $1,000 from a friend on a credit card, and that's how she started her business. In the middle of the night, she called her kids and said, "I've got an idea." Her son got online, found the domain name, and Skinny Teas was born. She didn't reinvent the wheel. She just fixed it. She made the product longer, more comfortable, something that I guarantee every woman here probably has at least one, if not more, in their closet. Today, Skinny Teas has more than 210 different products, including tops, leggings, dresses, vests, shawls, from crew necks, V-necks, round necks, off the shoulders. And by the way, if they don't have it, just send Linda Schlesinger Wagner a note and it will be created by the next morning, because somehow Linda finds the 25th, 26th, and 27th hour in the day. Linda has the ability to know what's important. She's focused on a goal and keen understanding that the easiest way to get somewhere is a straight line. Except it's really rare that in business or in life, the path is a straight line. So she's found every resource under the sun to keep going in her journey, and she just doesn't sit still. She often shares it, and she shares it, but when she does, be really ready, because you better be listening and you better be doing it as she's giving you advice. Unlike our another speaker today and Rob, I haven't known Linda for 30 plus years, but it certainly feels like it. And I know that we have a lifetime friendship already. I'm blessed that she's my client. I'm blessed that she's my friend. And I've asked her to speak today because I find that Linda is such a keen resource to so many businesses. And she can speak on a lot of things, but I asked her today to really talk to all of you about finding the best resources to grow your businesses. So Linda, thank you. And I'll just say that I picked on her on one of the most busiest days because, like, as we're talking, I know that the machine is going crazy because she had Good Morning America 3 today, and she just got off that we did a interview with the New Zealand media. So sorry.
We love to be busy. And thanks for having me follow Rob. Geez, thanks a lot.
You're good.
Sari asked me to talk to maybe bring to light some things that are out there that people maybe don't know about for money. I went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, which if anybody can and wants to, I highly suggest that you do it. It's one of the best things I ever did. And the information they give you is priceless. After I finished that, last fall, someone who I graduated from that program 4 years ago told me about the Edward Lowe Foundation. That is worth platinum. You give them 3 things that you're interested in doing. Mine was marketing, and global marketing. You have 8 meetings with them, each one about an hour and a half. They on the back end have spent 40, 50 hours getting you all the resources. And by the way, the people you're talking with on Zoom in your individual weeks, and they're all different, are from all over the United States. We learned so much about our business from what they gave us and the tools that you can use to grow your business. One thing is called Tapestry. And probably no one here, maybe Rob, could afford to buy the program, but it is available and you can hire these people, and we have hired them just to get more names or bigger mailing list or who your customers are. If anybody is interested in doing that program, it's a minimal thing. I said international marketing. I finished the program several months ago with my son. Then they brought on 2 of my employees to go through a different program. They have a camp every summer. That's the only thing you pay for if you want to go to that. And they really do have people like the Microsoft, the Bill Gates, those people come to this thing that's for 3 days, and all it is networking. For us little people, I think it's just the best thing. If you're a woman-owned business, I highly suggest you do the paperwork, and it looks scary at first, and become a certified woman-owned business. Doors open like you won't believe. Money is available. There's grants that are available. A grant you don't pay back, it's a gift you get. And probably every woman here, as long as you own 51% of the business, can get all of that. Also, there is a man, and he's with Michigan Economic Development through the small business, and he was one of the men at Goldman Sachs. His name is Sean Gray. If anybody wants his number, I'm giving his number all the time because he knows money that's available, like this whole food thing that just opened up. Monday? I think it opened up Monday for the restaurant business. He knew about that 6 weeks ago and that was coming. So he had people just get it in line and get your application ready because he had the tools to do all of that. So he is amazing. His wife, I think, is a senator. I think I'm having a fundraiser for her this summer, but they're good people. There's another man. He was my mentor in Goldman Sachs, Ferris, another great source. I think probably now he charges for consultation, but 1 hour with him is probably like 30 hours with anybody else. He is probably the smartest person I've ever met. You know, he sends you down to the law library to look up codes and so on. It's amazing. And I know a lot of people that are on here, and what I say is you share your resources. Some people don't like to do that. We do. I share all that I can. I help. I give ideas to people. Sari's right. If I give you an idea and you think it's great, you better do it because I'll be checking on you. But I grew this business, and it was a tough year last year. We didn't close because Good Morning America chose us to be one of the small businesses in America that they were following during COVID. And when masks weren't available last March and April, I was so upset that I started sourcing them through my contractor in China and brought thousands over, and I gave them to hospitals. But I also gave those sources to various health resources, hospitals, and so on. Not for money. I just gave them the stuff. And if they didn't know how to do it, I said I'd broker it in for them, but I wasn't laying the money out because it's all available. But the bigger your company is, I think it's, or a hospital, the harder it is to do all of this. So anybody needs anything, I have a lot of resources. We can all grow our business. We've changed our business. A lot of our stores have closed. We have a huge internet footprint now. We always did, but it's really much bigger now because you spend a lot of money on advertising through this tapestry thing, because we learned that our wealthiest customers of all places are in Salt Lake City, Utah. Who would have thought? So we do a lot of Facebook advertising there. And they gave us 7 other cities also. So if anybody needs anything, really easy to find. I'm available. Not that I know everything, and I'll ask you for things too, but I'm always trying. That's my story.
I know we have some other Goldman Sachs graduates on here.
Mhm.
I know Ariana, Valerie, there she is.
Nice.
Hey, that's actually one of the reasons I met Haith, and through Valerie. Yeah, that's how we met. I'm not sure who else has done the Goldman Sachs program. I mean, I'm looking, Erin, I know that you put in the chat, did you do it? Yeah, so, I mean, it's a great program. I say that as people are like, why haven't you done it, Sari? I know Valerie's like gonna scream at me probably by this text in a minute and say, why haven't you done it? Haith has been yelling at me for a long time about doing it. But I know that my clients who have gone through it have just learned so much. I'll say Valerie's business has grown leaps and bounds by being part of it. Haith is the president, CEO of La Host. She did the Goldman Sachs, is now in 300 Walmarts. Or, I'm sorry, 300 Walmarts. 21 states, 300 Walmarts. I'll get it together. And Ariana from Rear Ends this year got picked up as one of the Amazon Explorer stores, so people can shop with her globally. It's that networking. Erin Moss is part of Dry Bar. Obviously, I don't go to Dry Bar, but I mean, if you're familiar at all with Dry Bar, the branding, the execution of Dry Bar is exceptional. I had the pleasure of being able to work with Dry Bar when they opened in Ann Arbor. It is hands down. I mean, I hope Erin will open like 5 more and call me. But Goldman Sachs, really the network behind it. So I hope that people will consider it and think of it as just one of the programs and talk to Linda or Ariana, Valerie, Haith. I think all of them have really learned so much through it. And the other programs Linda talked about. But I'm not kidding. Ashley was shaking her head because Ashley and Linda have spent some time together. And I can tell you that as Linda tells Ashley to do something, Ashley's doing it. And that's, when people share their resources and their knowledge, my expectation when I put people together is that's what will happen. Because that's what has to happen to grow. So does anyone have questions though for Linda? Because I think this is one of those areas. I think you all know that I like to wave a white flag of what I don't know. And I really rely on finding resources for you all. And Linda has been a tremendous resource as far as we're in a women's networking group together. And she's been a tremendous resource to other businesses in finding, certainly during COVID, certainly in growing businesses. If you don't want to ask your questions, if they're private or whatever, because some of it's funding, certainly I'll give you Linda's information. You can reach out through me. But if you have a general question, please, definitely ask Linda.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Linda. It's Haith. First and foremost, let me say thank you, Sari. You are a rock star. Thank you for bringing us all together in this room to meet one another. You are amazing. You are amazing. And some of us can say, I believe in my heart, we truly can say, you have been the lifeline in that little, what do you call that thing you throw out? The lifeline. You've been the lifeline for so many of us. And you are just like the gentleman said when he was talking, you're the person that I can come to and say, hey, Sari, what did I say too much? Did I not say enough? And your reply to me is just do you. So thank you, Sari. You really are just a strong, amazing support system.
You're a rock star.
Okay, so I'm done. So Linda, it's so great to finally be able to talk to you. I got a message from, I think his name is Tim. He was like, I got to bring you two together. So you've done so many things that I aspire to do. So I would love, I know COVID's going on, but I would love to come by to see your manufacturing because I had to actually close my salon completely down and it's now converted over to a 100%. I can't believe my salon is gone. It still shocks me a little bit. But I'm now a fulfillment center warehouse and I'm looking now to basically put some systems in place and get some policies and procedures because now I'm a manufacturing company with being picked up. And I don't know if I told Sari this, but I just got picked up by 5 more Meyer stores. So we're on 8 Mile, we're on Telegraph and 12 Mile and Grand River and Redford. And so the brand is growing. So I would definitely need some advice. You definitely are a woman who I aspire to grow up to be.
Oh, thanks. I'll try. I'll help you all I can and with as much as I know, which probably is this much, but I can help.
Well, mine is this much. So if you
I
can give
get
me
it.
that much,
I get it.
I can grow. I appreciate the help. And thanks again, Sari, for inviting me to this phenomenal Zoom call.
Well, you're welcome. I do want to, because I'm looking at both of them, I do want to mention one of my clients being PC Miracles, which is an IT solutions company, Dan and Rick. There's Dan.
What do you want to mention, Sari?
I want to mention, oh God. Oh,
We have
Dan.
matching shirts on. How about that?
Oh,
You guys have
yeah.
matching shirts on because you know to be have your logo on, Dan, when you have your, when
All
you're
about,
gonna go.
I heard it was
Yeah.
all about branding.
It is all
Yeah.
about brand. Oh, so I will say that referrals are the best. I'm not sure I should be thanking this referral. Every day I wonder with Dan, but Ashley, thank you for the referral with Dan.
No, I thank Ashley for referring you. You've done
You're
really great for
welcome.
us.
You're welcome.
But,
The last interview was fun on the road in the back of a truck, but
oh, God.
that's all good. It made it
Great
interesting.
representation of you, Dan. It showed the true Dan. We
I know.
wanted that true Dan out.
If you only knew. If you only knew.
Oh, Ashley knows actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I can only say that when you all know and you're going to go on camera, you're supposed to, I always say, like, just check the Zoom around you, just, or check everything around you. What's your background look like? I don't see David Fishman, but the other day I was like, lift the books, so the computer is higher. I said, even Jennifer Aniston does it that way. I'm like, get the lighting, So I know that Dan's on a road trip and he says, and most of you know, you don't get a choice. You're going to do the interview. It's not like, are you going to do it? It's yes, you're doing it. And Dan's like, I'm on a road trip. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, so he's doing it from the hotel room. That's not a big deal. It's not. I turn on the segment and I'm looking over and he is in the freaking back of a car. And there's like, I'm like, oh my God, he's in a car doing this interview, like major no. And I'm like, okay, breathe, Sari, breathe. You'll kill him later. Just breathe. And like the anchors loved it. They played along with it. And they mentioned that he was on a road trip with his son and they thought it was the best thing that he took time to get on and do it. And so it was good because otherwise I'm pretty sure I might have gotten like a producer going, what's your client doing in a car? But the reason I'm bringing up Dan and Rick right now from PC Miracles, one, I heard you didn't get your bags. So they went
Don't worry about it. Jeez, I'll drink my own tequila.
They went to your office.
We are not lacking.
Okay, yeah, well, I want to make sure you get tequila. But I bring it up because one of the biggest things like I was nervous about today and we're all nervous about lately are the tech issues of the world. And I'm like so excited to have PC Miracles as part of my clients because one, it just shows that I know nothing about tech, but it really shows that a lot of us don't. And it's been the biggest thing in this year of Zoom world and FaceTime and how we do all these things. But it also has highlighted how our businesses are really open up to security issues. We're working from home, we're working from our offices. And so Dan and Rick, we do a lot of these segments on TV, but I want to make sure that you realize they're on and they're a resource and somebody that I can send out to you guys to meet to make sure that the security systems that you have in place in your businesses are in fact secure. That as you bring in integrations into your business, you're doing them well, and that your e-commerce, all of those things are working in line because Dan has worked with some incredible businesses, but he's gone in and found that if you do some things correctly, you will grow that business even more so by doing it correctly and bringing it in the way all those systems are in place and finding little hacks and the bugs that you don't need in your business. And so I just wanted to mention that business in my pool of businesses.
Appreciate it, Sari.
Yeah,
If anyone ever has questions or I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to help out in any way, even if you're not a fit for us because we have different industry focuses and sizes. Still here always to help. That's just kind of been my mantra for 26 years. So the number one thing I can say to all of you to secure yourself the easiest way and the cheapest way is make sure you have multi-factor authentication in place. It's like what you have with your banks where you're getting the text message. Make sure you have that on your email. It doesn't cost you a dime. And we constantly see clients that opt not to have that in place, even though we've highly recommended it, and then they get hacked.
So I see in the chat a couple things. Deanna's amazing from Ashley, 100%. And Farah asking, yes, everybody's going to get a list as long as everybody's okay regarding who my clients are. And, you know, I want you to all network. I hope that you'll visit the stores that are on here. I hope that, you know, we're going to hopefully get an opportunity for everyone to just go around and say who they are, because I'm really blessed that I cover the gamut. When people say, who are your clients or what industries? I mean, I always say I go from tech to retail to medical to sustainability. I mean, I really cover it all. So I don't focus in on any one thing. I get to know a little bit about a lot of things. And so I think that everybody on here will see that there's resources for them. Are there any questions for Linda or Dan before we move on? Okay, so our next speaker, I think that my husband would love to know how he does it, because our next speaker is John Dwoskin, and not many people can get me to do something I don't want to do. In fact, most people cannot get me to do something I don't want to do, but somehow John Dwoskin has literally gotten me to do so many things that I go, I don't want to do that. I don't really think I should do that. That's like not in my wheelhouse, or I'm not comfortable doing that. And
it's not just me then, Sari.
No, I make you all do things. No, I make you all do things that you're not comfortable with, but that's my job. So I just want you to all know that John Dwoskin is the one who definitely has done that to me. I don't even know when, but a while back we went and had about an hour lunch. We caught up on our kids. I mean, we've known each other a really long time, and we caught up on our families. And we walked out of that lunch, and by the time we walked out, I had agreed to building a website I didn't have, having a podcast within a year. What else did I agree to? Oh, blogging, getting a virtual assistant. I don't know, there were just so many things. And then within 6 months after that, John convinced me that every day I should be doing a Facebook Live. And so I don't know exactly how he exactly gets me to do things, because I am always just as hesitant as you. But one thing I learned from John is that it's better to say you're right, because he is right. By doing all of those things, I knew what I tell you is right. It's how you grow your business. And John was right to tell me that too. It is exactly how I've grown my business. And it's been really fun growing my business that way. I've now, every Monday, I really try hard, but every Monday I try and jump on. John does a class that he started in the midst of the pandemic, I'd say, a coaching class at 4:30. I'll let John talk about that in a minute, but it's been amazing. And I love the business class. I try and make it my 45 minutes, hour time on that Monday to really take in John Dwoskin and his business coaching. So John Dwoskin's a business coach, author, speaker. He's a podcast king. I mean, there's never a time where he's not doing something live and on Facebook. And he is the John Dwoskin experience of growing your business big, very big. And you can find John at johndwoskin.com. And I say that you need, after we're done, please go to his website, because one of the great things about John's website is there is a wealth of information that's free. And I think that's so important, that to take in any resources that you can get your hands on. And so I've asked John to come as well today and spend some time talking to us. You're on mute.
Hey, there we go. Thanks, Sherry. You know, I'm a big believer in PR. I'm a big believer in you. You've gotten me all my TV spots and a lot of other stuff. But I'm also a big believer, never believe your own PR. You need a ton of it, but never necessarily always believe it. So welcome, everybody. I know a bunch of you, and it's good to see some new faces as well. Sari asked me today to talk for a couple of minutes just about doubling your business or growing your business. And the theme of what I want to talk about is, how do you double your business this year, right? Because I think even though we're in some crazy times, I think everyone on this call can double your business. And the way you start doubling your business is you start doubling your marketing and PR. Because now is the time. You know, it's interesting. As a business coach, I started my company 6 years ago, June 1st. And when the pandemic hit in mid-March of last year, there were so many companies that that I worked with that cut their marketing budget. But the smart companies doubled or tripled or quadrupled their marketing budgets. And marketing, to me, life and business is all about marketing. And so I love the messages of what we're being, you know, what's being talked about today. You know, you be you and telling your story. You know, Rob talking about the sharing and how you can support other entrepreneurs and his company, as well as all of us, e-commerce and things of that nature. But I wanted to talk about a couple things, because I think it's really important. If you really just take a moment and think 3 years from today, that's what you want to be building for. I say 3 years because I think it's manageable. 3 years from today, you want to be able to look back and say, I have this much content which elevates my brand today. But if you look back and you don't have content and you haven't been a content creator, then you're going to look back with a lot of regret. And here's why. People have, this is a fact, people have an attention span less than a goldfish, which is less than 7 seconds. That's a fact. By the year 2030, pre-COVID studies show that 85% of the jobs that exist in 2030 do not exist today. That's going to be a huge, and they say that COVID accelerated that 5 to 10 years. So the world is changing. The world of e-commerce is changing in a dramatic way, because pre-COVID, e-commerce was popular, but people really weren't doing everything they needed to do. Today, we're seeing e-commerce like we've never seen it before. And it's almost like doubling and tripling every single month. And it's not only just retail shops, it's professional services as well. Everybody is moving to an e-commerce platform. And so what's really, really important, I think, for everybody on this call is whatever you're doing for marketing, and I'm not just saying this because Sari does PR and marketing and this and the other, but you need to double it. And here's why. We all have kind of a foundation of where we are with our credentials. But the point of marketing is, there's lots of points, but one major piece is we need to constantly be building our real-time credibility. Because people have, you know, you're out of sight, out of mind. And what you did last year and what you did last month, it isn't as relevant to the new, the young, the hungry that are right on your coattails building something. Today, people can build something overnight. with technology. If they understand, when I launched my business on June 1st, 6 years ago, I launched it with tons of videos, tons of blogs. So 30 days into it, I actually got a call from Entrepreneurs Organization, and they said, "Hey, I think we want you to join EO." So I said, "Great." So I'm 20 minutes into talking to them, and they said, "Well, we've been to your site and this and the other and your social media. When did you start your company?" So I said, 30 days ago. They were like, 30 days ago, you have to have an established company for like 2 or 3 years, whatever the rules were. I don't remember, but I couldn't hit the rules. And so you want to be a content provider. I'm a big fan of video. Ashley Gold, I just know Ashley. She does a great job with videos. I mean, anytime she's going live, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people looking at her videos. They say that a 30-second video is equivalent to 3.5 million words read. And here's some interesting statistics too on video of a guest speaker that I had who specialized in video in one of my group coachings, is that people no longer read on the internet. They skim. They don't watch videos as much as they read the captions of the video. And so when you're doing video, it's really, really important to even have the captions on. But building your real-time credibility to match your credentials is really, really important. A couple other things I just wanted to kind of talk about is, many companies talk about market share, but in today's world, we also have to be thinking about mind share, right? There's this, if you've ever read Jeffrey Moore's Crossing the Chasm, which is a great book about people in business who are either pioneers or you're laggards. And he has kind of this graph, this kind of like bell curve graph that goes like this, early adopters, pioneers, and then laggards. But it's really, really important that we understand how to market to each one of those groups, because sometimes people take one message, sometimes they take 2 messages, but most people take up to 50 plus messages before they realize who we are. And then we have to continually grab their attention. We're really in the business of grabbing people's attention and keeping their attention, right? Keeping them, and the trick is, how can we get access to people to pay attention to us? And that's through consistency and PR and marketing, using social media, using the platforms. And so that's why as a business coach, I advise my clients, okay, you're at this point, that's great. Now double what you're doing, right? Now double what you're doing. And so that's so overwhelming. It's really not. We're not going to get into the weeds about that right now, but you have to kind of learn what to repurpose, how to repurpose it, where to go. That's why Carrie, who's here, who's a virtual assistant, they do an amazing job. Everybody needs a virtual assistant who can take your stuff and start to repurpose it in ways that are just ways that you're not even thinking about. Sometimes people think about, a VA that seems so like, if they're not in my office, I don't know how to use. VAs are the greatest things ever invented. I've worked with Carrie. Carrie's unbelievable, right? Carrie and her team know how to do things and take things off your plate. So the last thing I'll say is, and I'll open it up for questions, is know what you need to delegate. Understand what your price per hour is and know what to delegate. And so many people I work with say, well, I can't delegate A, B, and C. You can delegate way more than you think you can. A virtual assistant can take things off your plate, and they're absolutely critical. Next, I'll just say one more thing too. Not everybody can afford a business coach, but everybody can get a free accountability partner. So if you want to set some goals and you want to ramp up your business, find somebody that will do a 1-minute text or talk with you every morning. Set some goals, hold each other accountable, and create a plan. Because that doesn't cost anything except take some time. I know, Sarah, you asked me to say this, so I'll just reference this. My website has content that's updated every single day. I do live podcasts and tips and blogs and things of that nature. I've had many of you here on the podcast, so thank you. I do one-on-one coaching. I do one-on-one coaching, and I also do group one-to-many coaching, which is great, and I love it. That came out of the pandemic because there were people who who didn't have the money to invest in a coach, but needed coaching. So I do my website. You can do direct access to me one-on-one. You can join my group coaching. And I'm launching another piece of my coaching, which is only daily text to remind people to do what they do. Because there's a group of people I find out there that need a coach, don't want to pay for a coach, but they need someone to text them every day that says, hey, don't forget to do this. That's it. And I beta tested it for the last 6 years. I've been doing it for my clients all the time. And now people, are realizing how important it is. I'll say this lastly, make your goals attainable, lower the bar, and make them small so you can be consistent over time. And that's what compounds over time. Don't set big, lofty daily goals that you can't hit, that you're going to feel like you missed the mark. Being an entrepreneur is so difficult. There's 1,000 moving pieces. And you got to be able to do just small things every day. My tagline is think big. And the way I define that is doing the small things every day that compound to your big, whether it's your goal, your result, or your purpose. That is what it's all about. So that's just kind of a quick gist. Build mind share as well as market share, and make sure that you are pumping out tons of real time credibility into social media that match your credentials. Any questions?
No questions, but a comment. Thank you so much for sharing. I got a lot out of that. A lot.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Yep. Great presentation.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
So John, can you just mention, just in case people are interested, how can they also get more information about your Monday or?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I have a coaching group, a private coaching group. It's a sales and business development coaching group. We meet every Monday live 4:30 to 5:30. And then it's everything is put on a live Facebook page, a live private Facebook page that's updated every day, almost every day. That's one coaching group I have. That's $50 a month, and it's live coaching with me. I have 3 coaching groups coming out at the end of this month with coaching partners. One is myself and Jeff Sloan. If any of you know Jeff Sloan, we're doing one for entrepreneurs 0 to 3 years. One, and that is called Business Builders. Another private coaching group I have is called Due Diligence with Simon Thomas, who's the CEO of Adobe Real Estate. We are doing a private coaching group only for residential realtors. And these are people all over the country / world, 0 to 3 year realtors who are starting in the business. And then Randy Denha and I are starting a private coaching group called E-Elevate. It's kind of a play on words. And that is only for attorneys. So we've got, I'm finding that the one-to-many coaching group, those groups are $100 a month, and mine is $50 a month. And then there's direct access to me one-on-one coaching also. And that all of it can be found on my website, johndwoskin.com.
Wow. So I have a question.
Yeah.
If I hire you for a one-on-one and you see that I have 10 bins of paperwork, 10 bins that I'm always doing, I never get caught up. Are you going to kick me out after the first time?
No, I'll tell you how I coach. I'll tell you how I coach in a quick. I'll tell you my one-on-one coaching. My one-on-one coaching is a little bit different than. I don't want this to be a commercial to me, so I'll say it in 20 seconds. My one-on-one coaching usually starts with a 2 to 5 hour deep dive with a client, and then we do 15 to 30 minutes a week, right? Because the goal is to stay consistent. I can type almost as fast as I can talk, so I take a ton of notes and we record via Zoom if the client wants it. And and the reason I share that is it's doing the small things every day, right? It's not tackling it all, but we get into deeper things than cleaning your paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
But what I would tell you is hire someone to go through that and figure out what's in the paper.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Don't be so.
I've been in your office. I think that somebody could clean part of your office.
Yeah. Part of the hard part about being an entrepreneur is we all start small. We wear all the hats. We do everything. and then we can't let go and surrender some of the control. And so we have to be able to let go of things and trust people. I can tell you, I worked with Carrie for a long, long time. She ran my entire podcast for years, and it's a big thing. It's a big part of my brand. And I think there was like maybe 2 issues that were my fault because of my lack of complete clarity of communication, but Carrie didn't skip a beat. And so you got to be able to just let it go, right? And you got to delegate. The way to do it is you got to look at what your price per hour is, right? What do you value your time at? If I value my time at $500, $1,000, $2,000 an hour, I should not be doing 50, 40, 30, 20, 50, I think minimum wage is $15, $15 hour work. If I am, it's like that 3-year goal I'm talking about. Every hour you spend doing $15 an hour work, you are majorly affecting your 3-year goal of, and you may hit it, but you would amplify it if you just start, not you, Linda, per se, but just anybody.
Me.
Yeah.
Yes, me.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening. I'm going, yeah, I'm calling you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's the key. It's the key with business coaching is small things. I always start my business coach, the Monday classes that Sari is in. I start every session the same and I end it the same. Stop one thing that's not working for you and start one thing that will make you more effective. And that's it, right? Because it's too much. I mean, everything that everybody was talking about today is so good, right? And so, and there's so many nuggets from everything, but you just got to take what resonates most with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John, I think I would have retired 3 years ago if I knew about you. So,
yeah.
Thanks. Now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, John, can I ask you
Never
a
too
question?
late.
Yeah. Hey, Rob.
Your virtual
Rob.
assistant, what did you
Yeah.
call your virtual assistant? Is that a person or is that a
She's
platform?
here.
No, she's right there. Carrie Hess, right here. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
But I'll tell you, so Carrie works with somebody named Nicole, and I worked with Nicole for months. Like I would say, like it had been like 4 or 5 months, and I was at a meeting, and somebody said, "Where does your virtual assistant live?" And I said, "I have no clue. I have no clue where she lives." Because we'd only right. I knew that, so I emailed her because we communicated all over. Like Voxer and email. So I emailed her, I said, Nicole, where do you live? And she's like, I live in Ohio. But that's how seamless and incredible it was of her doing work for me. So I can't sing Carrie and her team's praises.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone heard at the beginning, and maybe because people were coming on, but Carrie is my virtual assistant. Carrie can easily attest to this, that I don't give up control. You guys probably find this hard to believe. I don't give up control easily. And the first month that I was working with the team, I got emails, texts, calls. They're like, Sari, you have to give us something to do. Like, we're going to charge you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. They're intense. They don't mess around.
Like the first of the month,
Hilarious.
We're charging you. And I'm like, I don't really know what, I don't know what I'm giving.
I know. So that's intense. Yeah.
And I'm like, John, what am I supposed to give them? Like, you're making me have a virtual assistant. Like, I barely wanted babysitters when my kids were little.
Right. It's true. But I'll tell you, but it's good, Carrie, that Sari, that they do that, because when Carrie would call and say, hey, you got 7 hours left, I'd say, all right, write 2 blogs. Right. Because it's like it forces you to do the things that you need them to do.
I will tell you now, Carrie, on the other day, what did you send me an email? She said, you're over your hours.
Aww.
Yeah, Sari's been stacking my plate for sure.
So, I mean, just to give you an idea what Carrie does do for me, because some of you are on and some of you aren't. Carrie works really hard on social media content. I know Steve Shanebaum was on, and she works on Organized Detroit social media and some branding. She works on a lot of my social media and branding, and we do a lot of writing. And blogging and
Manage your calendar.
my calendar. She does a lot of my Facebook Live, my calendar, a lot of my rescheduling. But but a lot of times, I mean, you guys can see there's a lot of you, right? So PC Miracles is a perfect example. I'm going to use them as a new client, one of my new clients. When I need to do a lot of research, Rick will give me, I know, see, I knew you were gonna, Rick will say, here's 3 topics Dan likes, and he'll give me links, and I'll be like, that's great, but I need more and more. And I will say, you know, Carrie, here's what they want. Here's what they want to focus. Give me more articles, give me more to look at, as opposed to me Googling and Googling and Googling. Why? Because I know what I'm charging PC Miracles. They don't need me Googling and Googling. They need me pitching. And then I need to come back and spend the time reading and figuring out how that coordinates to a media pitch. But based on the hours that I have, it makes more sense for my virtual team to do research for me.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pluses early on, and not so much. There were times where they would build media lists for me. So trust me, you eventually figure out what to do when you hire someone.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at it, but I'm getting better. Gina, I saw you for a minute. You had a question.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just saying, thank you for educating me, because I always thought a virtual assistant was just a secretary. Like just somebody that would just do paperwork or whatever, but that's news to me, and I'm happy to learn that.
No, most days she's more important than some of my children who are driving me crazy right now.
Yeah,
I swear to God, all 3 of mine are texting me. I'm like, I'm in the middle of something.
But I think that's great. And for Carrie, I don't know if you ever do any marketing, but I think, don't assume everybody knows what a virtual assistant is. I wish I've heard commercials, but I
you
never.
should double your marketing right now.
If you look in this book,
Amen.
If you look in this book, and you should double your marketing right now. Some of you are, thank God, and busy. But some of you that are getting on that trajectory, and some of you are going along and it's working, but as we've heard today, that isn't going to take you where you need to go.
Can I say one thing? Sari, can I say one thing on that? I think there's so much noise out there, right? To rise above the noise, you have to be in front of people, right? And you can repurpose things, and you can do this. Like Linda, congratulations. That's incredible that you were on Good Morning America 3 this morning. That's great. And you can repurpose that, and it looks, you can go to your website and see it. But in 3 months, people want to look back and see more content, more this, because now that you have that credential, build off of that, right? Rise above the noise. That's the key. Yeah.
Can I add one more thing about the virtual assistants? Because I use virtual assistants. So in October, my employee left, and instead of hiring a new employee, I hired 3 virtual assistants. They each do something different, because I found that one person can't do it all. So I hired 3 different people who specialize, one in presentations, one in order entry, one in helping with my blog, because the one person couldn't do everything well. So I found the virtual assistants who could do what they do best. And it's much easier to be able to delegate to each person what they're doing best.
Yeah. And I'll add one thing to that, Valerie, I think, which is really important. I'm a solopreneur. I work with solopreneurs to Fortune 100 companies and everything in between. And I don't have an office. This is my office, especially since COVID. I have not moved, and I have 8 virtual people that work for me that work 160 to 200 hours a month, so I can do what I love to do and be working and focused with clients. And so like all of you, it takes a lot of energy to do whatever you're doing, to focus, to come up with that next idea, to find executive time, to find that space where you need to just do nothing and think, meditate, go for a walk. And so I kind of take the Frank Sinatra method of things. The Frank Sinatra method is all he wanted to do was show up, walk on stage, sing, leave, be done, period. People set up, people took down. And so I look at my business the same way. I have a team that you just kind of create the effective communication. They communicate with each other so I can be with clients and focused and all of that. And that to me is where your competition that doesn't exist yet thinks like that. And so you've got to start delegating. You've got to start doing it, because the millennials and the Gen Zs, this is the only way they know how to create a company, right? And so, and with social media and technology and this and the other, it's like, boom. So just think about it. It's like Val said, 3 different things, 3 different people. It's brilliant. Yeah. Great stuff. Hey, Val, how are you?
Hi, Jen.
I just like to give Jonathan a plug, because when I started working with Jonathan, not John, whatever, I had a dozen clients and a really good idea that I was convinced was a good idea. And I needed someone to tell me that's a good idea. And I just checked my QuickBooks. I have 687 clients, John. I think we met 4 years ago. So
yeah.
Thank you. You did
You're
really,
welcome.
really help my business. And he pushed me and he kept making me charge more and more an hour. I loved it. And I was like, really? He's like, try it 3 times and see what they say. I'm like, I'd call him. Everyone said yes. He's like, go higher. I'm like, really?
Okay, I will say that John's told me that too. I haven't listened to him yet.
No, we don't want Sari to raise her rates.
Right. Terry, you know what? My brother called, you did some work for my brother. My brother called me, goes, thanks for convincing Terry to raise her prices. You owe me, X amount of dollars. You just did some work for us.
I had just raised my prices when he called, and I cut him a little break.
All right, good. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
If I raise my rates, I'll give you all John Dwoskin's email address. All I've given you is his website.
Well, what I tell people is, I'm going to talk to you about how to raise your rates, but you can't raise my rate.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Well, I want to watch the time, and we're going to end in just a minute. And but one of the big, I said this at the beginning, one of the biggest reasons to bring everyone together was this idea of collaboration and partnership. And it really came to me when I started seeing what was going on this year. And one of the things I noticed was I would talk to a client about another client, and it was like, oh, you should really meet my client, and how to bring everyone together. And there's no question that I wish we were, at a party in a room. But the truth of the matter is, yes, Becca, I wish we were at a party in a room with dancers from Star Treks, and we will be. But what I'd like to say is that, and I've talked about this is really how we're going to continue to do business. We're going to do business by Zoom. We're going to do business in person. We're going to do business really in a lot of different ways. And I said it before, the great news is that a year ago, I never knew that I would be able to convince Hirsch's that they needed a website. I mean, 37 years in business. And I mean, they're an e-commerce business and thriving through a pandemic, doing it that way. And they're just one of many on this. And they're selling, running all over through the pandemic, like so many. And Event Bliss created a website this year, and e-commerce, and Ruby's Baum isn't on here, but that's how we're going to do business in the future. We're going to do it in person. We're going to do it online. And the collaborations are going to be part of it. And I saw that, especially Ashley Gold and Skinny Teas did a collab this year together. And when you do something like that, and the power of Ashley's social media and Skinny Teas social media, these may be social media people who would never collide. And now they're sharing and shopping from one another. The Village of Franklin got together this year to do a collab. And in the media, Organized Detroit was with my client, Kelly Houseman, as well as a Salon to Go was with Kelly on TV. And so when these things work, they work. And so I want to really quick open it up and, feel free to introduce yourself and talk about how you can all come together and collab together. I really want to help you do that. And Becca, your mic is a go.
And I was just going to say that without even knowing, or maybe you did know, you created this like underground secret society. So I think I know lots of these faces. There's some that I don't know at all. Like I personally know what Terry does, what she is so amazing, but there's probably people on this call that have no idea. And so having her, maybe there's a way for you to create like a spreadsheet of our capabilities, of each of our capabilities, and then we can just go from there and see how we can each help each other in special ways.
I absolutely will, as long as I'm always careful with, I would never, give out your email addresses to the world, but I feel comfortable and confident about giving them amongst each other. And because I do really feel that there are resources amongst all of you to share and to learn from. Please include me, of course, to help you all. I also want to say there's simply just resources on here to use in your everyday life. I will point out that I believe that David Fishman may be one of my first clients.
I'm taking everyone on a trip. Thank you, Sari, for taking care of it.
We're all going to Disney.
We're all going to Disney.
We're all going to, there we go. And, the incredible resources, really, when I say PC Miracles with your IT and David with travel and, shopping local with Hirsch, God, I'm going to miss somebody, but Hirsch's, Event Bliss, Skinny Teas, Ashley, and I just looked, Event Bliss. I mean, I know I'm missing people. You Need Toys. There are my boys. Wait, who's that? Is it Ryder or Ezra? Oh, it's Ryder. Where's Ezra? Oh, there's Ezra. Okay, so my star TV stars, Ezra and Ryder at Toyology. So, I consider you all, I say it all the time, that you guys are all my family. I spend more time with you than my family. I just think that there are definitely resources to share here. And I want you all to continue. I don't say grow, I want you to continue to grow. And so if there's, before I let you all go, is there, if you want to introduce yourselves, open up your mic, go for it so people know.
Sari, I just want to say one thing. You're all introducing us and wanting us to talk to each other. But I want to tell you that I'm sure everybody can say the same thing. You are incredible. And I don't think that we would all be where we are if it wasn't for you. And you're like our key person. So thank you. And personally, if I didn't have you to talk to, and John Dwoskin, wherever you are, I think you're on here somewhere because I'm be calling you. But I feel like, Sari, you've been my business coach. You've been my friend. You've been my mentor, along with you, Linda. Sari, you've been my rock star. You've been my rock. You've been there for me 24/7. I swear at 11 o'clock at night or 11 in the morning or like midnight. So thank you. And I can't wait to meet everybody on this gallery here. But Sari, I know the planning that went into this, and you were nervous and you rocked it. And you're just the hardest, not only publicist, but mom and rock star. So thank you.
Well, thanks everyone. I don't, that's fine. That's
Thank
it.
you,
It's my job. and I love my job, and your stories are amazing, and I love what I do, and I love what I do, or I wouldn't do it. And I love what I do, and so I do it long hours to do it. So it makes me happy to do it. Not every day, not every moment. Sometimes the media makes me want to hit my head against the wall, but you know, my clients usually don't want me, make me want to do that. But sometimes, you know, a producer wants me, makes me want to do that. But Ashley, thank you. And thank you for the coffee this morning. Anyone else? I will get a list out to everybody. I really so thank you for spending this time, because more than, I mean, who knows best than me that the amount of time that you all don't have. And so I hope that this time together was valuable to you. I have found during this pandemic that we all need one another. And so I'm always here. You know, I don't have hours, and I don't have hours, and I don't have boundaries, you know, in that. And even when my husband's like, it's Sunday at 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, yeah, so Fish is calling me. What do you want? I'm not going to take the call. So, you know, I feel it's important to be always available. And I will make the list, you know, here for you. And thank you for allowing me to share your stories. I mean that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sari.
Thanks, Sari.
You're the best.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sari. Great job. This was great.
Bye. Thanks, John.
John, I'll be
Thanks,
in touch
Rob.
with you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, Sari.
Bye, David. Want to go to Disney? How do you feel, Gina? Hey, Ezra.
Hi. Better. Thank you. This was awesome.
Is that the cutest? Is he the cutest? My little rock star TV star?
Yeah. It was the perfect pick me up. Thank you.
Oh, good. We'll go rest. Hi, Ez. Hi, Ryder.
Sari, I told Ryder that the bus lady was in the video, and now he just wants to see the bus because I saw his on.
Oh, she was on. I told her that Ezra and Ryder wanted to know about the bus.
Every day, we're very curious if it's fixed.
I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna arrange a special bus ride this summer, okay?
I will pay for that. I can give him Toyology donation.
You know what, boys? I promise we're gonna get that.
Ryder, Sari said those. She
you.
said we can see the bus.
All right, go feel better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jen, I'll talk to you. Carrie, do you have a copy of the, I mean, I think I saw most of the chat.
Yeah, I was kind of scrolling through it as we were going. I don't know if we can, I think I can download it. Yeah, I can.
Just didn't grab it.
I'll grab it.
Oh my God.
Everything went really well.
Except for I'm going to kill my family. My daughter is trying to get her dress fixed, and she's like texting me and going, look at this, look at my, and then my son.
So it's distracting you.
I was like, what?
That's funny.
I was like, I finally went into our family chat, and I'm like, I had taken a screenshot of everyone, and I'm like, I'm busy.
Like, leave me alone.
They're adult children.
I hear ya. My kids came in twice. That's why I kept having to shut my video off.
Oh no, and I can, and then I was like, and then I saw you shut your video off, and I looked down and I text John. I go, John, I checked this all out. I can't.